This is madness. Hello, everyone. A few months ago, I went to Cohen Children's Medical Center to film a 10-minute photo challenge. When I was there, I met a very inspiring young woman. This is her story. After I was finished shooting the photo challenge, a nurse told me there was a young woman, a dancer, who was on her 4th round of chemotherapy and really wanted to meet me, but she was too sick to leave her room. So I went to her.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. You're very tall.
I'm tall. Well, you're sitting down, though.
Around 9 months ago, I was just going away for my first year of college, and the whole time I was there, I was sick. Eventually, it was like I was fainting in the showers, and I'm the type of person that I'm like, oh no, it's fine, you know, whatever. Not gonna worry about it. I couldn't even stand up. I had to tell my mom to come and pick me up from school because I thought I had mono. So we went to the hospital. A doctor at St. Joseph's on Long Island came to the room, and it was the disease doctor, and she said, you know, it's probably just mono. You get some of these side effects with mono. You'll probably be able to leave soon. As she's walking out, the blood doctor walks in and says, we think it's leukemia. And my mom and I were like, no, you're wrong. Like, there's no way. We did not. It was like just denial. From day one, I knew I was going to be okay because that's just how I am. I just knew it, and I was just more worried about like my family's reactions and like how worried they would be and stuff, and that was harder.
As a parent, it touches me deeply to see sick kids, and I'm struggling to figure out how exactly to communicate with her. I brought you a book.
A book?
My Dancers Among Us book.
Oh, cool,
and I wanted to give it to you. Okay, I want to sign it for you.
Thank you.
And she has an incredible amount of strength and determination. And I go from being concerned and nervous to being optimistic and excited to meet her. And when you're feeling better enough, I would love to meet up with you and take some real pictures. Does that sound good?
Yes.
That sounds great. The picture you sent me on Instagram, that was pretty cool. Do you feel strong enough to be able to do that kind of thing right now, or are you a little weak?
No, I could do that.
Could you?
Yeah.
And go. Yes, wow. This is one of the coolest photos I maybe have ever taken.
Every day I was in my hospital room, I dreamed of the beach.
I knew that when we finally worked together, it had to be at the beach.
It's scary, like I had hair down to here and we had cut it, but still to have just pieces of your hair coming out, it's scary, especially for a girl. So my cousin who went to beauty school, she would come and we did basically everything that we ever wanted to do to my hair, but we're too scared to because I would always dyed my hair, cut it, you know, did fun things. So I had purple hair for a while, pink hair. I had a lot of anxiety building up to the day that it started to come out, and that night was probably the worst night of my life. The most traumatic part is when it first starts coming out, then we just decided we're like, no, we're gonna shave it. I'm not gonna deal with seeing my hair all over the floor and all over the bed. So after that, I never cried about it again. Yeah. Chemo is different for every person. Every person, even if it's the same type of cancer, gets different exact chemos. I had 4 rounds, but they're different than most people's 4 rounds. A lot of people that are getting chemo, a round is a week. For me, it's months. And my last 2 rounds were called intensification 1 and 2. And my second rounds, I didn't eat for weeks. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sit up, I couldn't lift my head. It's a feeling that I could never describe. It's the worst feeling ever. Really. As soon as I got out of the hospital, all I wanted to do was go to my dance studio and train, but I couldn't because I still had no energy. I was still recovering from the chemo, and my doctors found a clot in my heart, which at first we were nervous about me doing too much physical activity because if it moves, it can go into my lung or a different part of the body where, you know, I wouldn't be able to breathe, or I had lost all my muscle. I couldn't jump, I would like try to do things and I would fall. It was really hard for me at first, but I would force myself to go to the dance studio, and even though I'd be panting and it was so hard, I would still try to spend at least an hour at a time at the dance studio and learning my dance, finishing my dance, and getting ready to compete. Yeah, so nobody really would say this, but nobody thought that I would be ready to compete. But I've always been really determined, and when I really want something, I'll be a pain in the ass until I get it. So yeah, 6 weeks later, I was able to compete and I won. It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling.
Amazing.
I usually did pretty well at competition. I didn't want this to be any different. I didn't want people to say I had pity points. I wanted, to really earn my first place. One of the best moments in my whole entire life was being on that stage that time. It was like, I can't even describe it. It was indescribable. Yeah. When people are fighting cancer, a lot of times people make shirts and bracelets, and the saying on everything of mine was Aaliyah Strong. So we even made a poster and kept it on stage with me when I competed. So yeah, it's a special hashtag. I'm trying to spend as much time as possible at the beach. As soon as I go in the water, I never want to get out. And the feeling of the sun on my skin is probably my favorite feeling in the world. I can't believe that today we got to do this finally and come to the beach and basically do everything that I wanted to do back a couple months ago. I had no idea what life would be like a couple months after treatment, but I finally am able to feel like my old self again. I feel so much better physically. I mean, it's not easy for me still, a lot of things, but I feel so much better, and a couple months ago would never have expected to feel like that. So yeah, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, for sure.
If you like that video, please give us a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. Now, you know what I did when I hit 1 million subscribers. I did a photo shoot in a leotard and tutu. Do you have a crazy idea for 2 million? If so, leave a comment below and make sure you turn on notifications because you're not going to want to miss this. 10-minute photo challenge.
Using an iPhone.
Okay, let's get coffee.